Global intelligence does not exist in an ethereal cloud. It lives down here, anchored in massive, heavy, subterranean machinery. Right now, high-velocity machine learning and automated heavy industries are demanding millions of calculations per second, driving this physical hardware to its absolute thermodynamic limits. For half a century, the physical architecture of our digital civilization has relied on a specific chemical foundation, traditional silicon wafers and copper wiring. But the sheer heat and spatial weight generated by modern AI are tearing that old grid apart. The legacy materials simply cannot survive the current operational reality. To see this breakdown, we have to look at the computational edge. This is where automated manufacturing foundries and aerospace telemetry arrays demand machine learning loops in real time. These are not pristine, temperature-controlled server rooms. They are raw, unconditioned environments where delicate, liquid cooling infrastructure cannot exist. This visualization shows what happens when you expose legacy semiconductor chemistry to this kind of localized heat. The atomic lattice structurally collapses. You can see the electrons bleeding through the newly ruined gate structures. This creates severe electrical leakage and ultimately catastrophic thermal runaway. The local hardware strains to compensate. Aluminum cooling fans spin at maximum RPM, producing a high-pitched whine as they struggle and fail to dissipate the rising heat. The physical architecture of the microprocessors themselves begins to buckle and warp under the sustained thermal load. You cannot simply attach massive aluminum heat sinks or larger fans to fix this. Doing so ruins the tight spatial limits required by the manufacturing machinery. Bolting on more localized cooling is a dead end. To keep intelligence alive in the field, the industry is forcing an absolute mutation of the semiconductor material itself. Across the heavy industrial sector, foundries are executing a systemic hardware replacement. They are actively deploying synthetic diamond substrate wafers directly into live compute nodes. This material possesses a thermal conductivity coefficient more than 5 times higher than standard silicon, allowing it to rapidly bleed off immense heat. This comparison shows diamond's second critical property, an ultra-wide bandgap. This keeps the carbon lattice perfectly stable, enduring massive electrical voltages and intense electromagnetic fields without suffering dielectric breakdown. Because of these twin properties, edge AI engines are now executing high-density operations entirely naked. They run at sustained temperatures exceeding 180 degrees Celsius with zero auxiliary cooling. By stripping away vulnerable liquid pumps and heavy heat sinks, the edge sheds its physical weakness. The computational field has achieved pure operational resilience through carbon, but solving the heat problem at the edge has exposed an equally volatile crisis deep within the hyperdense core networks. Uncooled edge nodes are generating massive volumes of high-velocity data, flooding back into global server clusters. And inside those data centers, that information is dying on the vine. The fatal bottleneck choking the entire system is the traditional copper wire. For decades, we have routed information using electrons moving through physical metallic traces. But when forced to carry today's high-frequency AI signals across even short distances, copper acts as a physical brake. The electrical resistance causes the data velocity to plummet, while massive amounts of electrical power bleed off into the server chassis as parasitic waste heat. In response, the world's largest infrastructure operators are ruthlessly tearing out legacy copper links from high-density clusters. This schematic visualizes the solution. They are replacing wiring with co-packaged optics, or CPO, fusing laser-driven silicon photonics directly onto the compute mainboard. By transitioning from electronic logic to pure light matrices, data velocity between independent server nodes instantly scales by an additional 10%. Furthermore, light photons travel through silicon waveguides with near-zero resistance compared to electrons in copper. This reclaims electrical overhead previously lost to heat, slashing baseline routing power consumption by over 30%. The network core is literally replacing the sluggish resistance of copper electrons with the frictionless velocity of light to save itself from thermal death. These two developments are not happening in isolation. They are a synchronized, dual-vector anomaly, altering the physical composition of global computational logic. At the physical edge, extreme heat processing is secured by synthetic carbon. At the hyperdense core, routing speed is guaranteed by an optical light matrix. The fragile, heat-choked era of standard silicon and copper has reached its absolute limit. The future of intelligence is being carved into a hardened, permanent matrix of carbon and pure light.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're initiating what is essentially a deep-level system scan into a massive roadblock in the world of computing. You see, the physical hardware we rely on for modern AIs is literally breaking down under extreme heat. Okay, let's dive into this diagnostic run and see exactly how engineers are completely rethinking how we build and cool our processors.
Here is the agenda for our system scan. We'll be moving through 6 operational sectors today. First, the silicon thermal collapse. Second, diamond thermodynamics. Third, quantum bandgap mechanics. Fourth, copper network atrophy. Fifth, co-packaged optics. And finally, a quick system glossary.
Sector 1. The silicon thermal collapse. To really understand why we need a hardware revolution, we've got to look at the operational decay of standard silicon as an immutable consequence of solid-state physics.
Standard silicon relies on a very precise process called doping to control its conductivity. But right at the atomic level, everything absolutely falls apart when a chip hits one specific, mathematically unforgiving thermal threshold, 150 degrees Celsius. Let's unpack the atomic physics here because it's absolutely crucial. At exactly that temperature, the ambient heat energy becomes so incredibly intense that it literally forces valence electrons to spontaneously break free from their atomic bonds. And the terrifying part? They do this completely without any gate voltage being applied. You suddenly get this unauthorized flood of electrons that completely disables the microscopic switches inside the chip.
And that triggers an agonizingly precise failure loop. Let's walk through this step by step. Step 1. The ambient temperature exceeds that 150-degree mark. Step 2. We get intrinsic carrier generation. Step 3. Valence bond dissociation, meaning those electrons are forcefully breaking free. Step 4. Complete gate isolation collapse. And finally, Step 5. Terminal thermal runaway. Because you've lost all gate control, you get an exponential increase in power dissipation. The leaking gates generate more ambient heat, which in turn frees more electrons, creating a continuous feedback loop until you reach an irreversible structural liquefaction. The macroscopic architecture literally melts.
Sector 2. Diamond substrate thermodynamics. And this brilliantly illustrates the solution to our first major hardware vulnerability. We're shifting our diagnostic focus to a material built for extreme stress, the synthetic diamond substrate, and specifically its incredibly rigid carbon-12 tetrahedral lattice structure.
When we look at the telemetry data for pulling heat away from a processor, the numbers are just staggering. Check out the massive divergence here. Silicon sits at a thermal conductivity of 150 watts per meter Kelvin. Copper, which is our heavy-duty industry standard, is around 400. But synthetic diamond? It operates at an absolutely massive 2200. To put that into perspective, it's like upgrading a dirt road to a 10-lane superhighway. Heat is instantly, and I mean literally instantly, pulled away from those fragile transistor junctions long before destructive thermal hotspots can even form.
So what does this mean for macroscopic reality? Well, it means heavy manufacturing edge nodes can completely strip away all those complex, failure-prone cooling systems. No more massive heat sinks, no more auxiliary liquid cooling frameworks. Diamond substrate processors can operate completely naked. They maintain absolute structural stability in brutal industrial environments exceeding 180 degrees Celsius without breaking a sweat. It's a total game changer.
Sector 3. Quantum bandgap mechanics. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that to truly appreciate the synthetic diamond material, we have to delve right beneath those macroscopic thermal metrics and look at the quantum mechanical behaviors at play.
Let's look at the system reference definition. A wide bandgap semiconductor refers to materials requiring higher energy thresholds to shift electrons from bound valence states to conduction bands. In highly technical terms, this is what preserves the absolute integrity of your digital binary state under extreme physical stress. It's the exact amount of energy needed to force an electron across a quantum void. A wider gap mathematically guarantees that stray thermal energy can't accidentally flip your digital ones and zeros.
Let's methodically compare the two. Silicon has a very narrow quantum gap, just 1.12 electron volts. It is highly vulnerable to thermal interference. It really doesn't take much heat at all for electrons to jump that gap and cause utter chaos. But synthetic diamond, it boasts an impassable quantum barrier of 5.47 electron volts. That is a massive mathematical wall. Even at wildly spiking temperatures, the ambient thermal energy simply isn't enough to push electrons over that barrier. It mathematically prevents thermally induced current leakages.
This wider gap also gives us incredible physical resilience when it comes to voltage. If you look at the breakdown field strength, if the voltage gets too high in silicon, it triggers a catastrophic avalanche breakdown at just 0.3 megavolts per centimeter. Basically, the chip fries. But diamond? Diamond can handle an astonishing 10.0 megavolts per centimeter. You can continuously pump insanely extreme voltages through a diamond chip to achieve ultra-fast processing speeds, speeds that would literally vaporize standard silicon in a fraction of a second.
Of course, fabricating this perfect carbon-12 lattice requires extreme chemical precision. We use a process called microwave plasma chemical vapor deposition, or MPCVD. Inside a tightly controlled vacuum chamber, a precise mixture of methane and hydrogen is injected and then bombarded with intense microwaves to create a plasma core. This ionization process strips the methane down, depositing raw carbon atoms that build a perfect tetrahedral diamond matrix, layer by agonizing layer. We then use laser ablation planarization to keep it perfectly flat. It requires flawless, strict telemetry monitoring because if the variables are off by even a fraction, the carbon bonds incorrectly and you end up with conductive graphite, completely ruining the entire chip.
Sector 4. The electronic atrophy of copper infrastructure. Okay, so we've diagnosed the compute nodes, but now we're pivoting our terminal scan away from the processors themselves and into hyperscale data centers. Because there is an identical material crisis happening right now within our high-frequency copper interconnects.
Let's move to and see how this builds into what engineers call the skin effect. At low frequencies, electrical current distributes itself nicely and uniformly across the entire cross-section of a copper wire. But when you start pumping gigahertz range AI training data through those same wires, the high-frequency magnetic fields physically force the electrons to crowd onto the very outer surface edges of the copper. You're effectively shrinking the usable space of the wire. This skyrocketing resistance distorts those perfect, sharp digital square waves into smeared, unreadable analog curves. And because of that massive resistance, engineers are forced to pump more and more power through the lines just to push the signal across. Which brings us to Joule's law, P equals I squared at R. The physical copper links become literal heating elements. Because the heat generation increases geometrically with the current, these cables bleed immense amounts of waste heat directly into the surrounding electronics. It creates an entirely unmanageable thermal load, forcing hyperscale data centers to run massive, energy-hogging industrial chillers just to move data from point A to point B without melting the server racks.
Sector 5, Co-Packaged Optics Integration. To solve this server thermal bottleneck, we are initiating the final solution phase, the total physical liquidation of legacy copper pathways.
Co-packaged optics, or CPO. The system definition here is an architecture integrating laser-driven optical components directly onto the primary multi-chip module substrate. So the crucial point is that CPO entirely demolishes the extended high-friction transmission path. Instead of forcing electrical signals through inches of highly resistive copper to reach a separate transceiver, we are moving the optical signaling straight onto the motherboard itself.
Let's linearly and deliberately walk through this optical conversion lifecycle. Step 1. The compute core outputs its digital electrical data. Step 2. That data immediately hits ultra-fast optical gates called electro-optic modulators. Step 3. These modulators intersect with a constant laser stream, utilizing a laser phase shift to instantly translate those local electrical voltages into high-frequency streams of optical pulses. Step 4. Those photons are channeled perfectly into microscopic silicon waveguides. And finally, Step 5. They are shot out through the fiber output. We are literally translating heavy, heat-generating electrons into weightless light photons in a fraction of a millisecond.
The hard terminal telemetry on this substitution is absolutely incredible. Because we are swapping electron waves for light photons, we entirely remove the physical resistance and thermal emission of legacy architectures. Data velocity scales up by 10% instantly. We achieve zero group velocity dispersion. We generate absolute zero joule heating because light has no electrical charge and no mass, which means zero friction. By adopting these CPO metrics, massive hyperscale server farms can slash their routing power consumption by over 30%.
Sector 6, System Diagnostic Index. Let's do a brief telemetry glossary check just to lock in your understanding of the fundamental mechanisms driving this new intelligence architecture.
First up, thermal conductivity. This is the physical metric quantifying a material's capacity to absorb, transport, and dissipate thermal energy. As we saw, synthetic diamond's exceptionally high thermal conductivity extracts waste heat away from localized junctions at incredibly rapid velocities,
utterly preventing those destructive thermal hotspots. Next is silicon photonics. This is the incredible engineering discipline utilizing photolithography to manufacture microscopic optical structures directly onto silicon substrates. It's the exact technology that reinforces how we replace traditional, heavy electrical currents with high-velocity light photons right at the absolute physical boundary of the chip.
We are successfully engineering our way out of our current thermal bottlenecks. But I'll leave you with this. As we liquidate our physical bottlenecks with synthetic diamond and laser matrices, what happens when our data velocity eventually outpaces the very limits of quantum mechanics? Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer. We'll see you on the next run.
For half a century, the digital realm operated on a strict physical duality. We used silicon to process logic and copper to transmit communication. These two basic elements allowed our initial room-sized mainframes to evolve. They scaled from isolated data vaults into a dense, interconnected global network. But as the intelligence of the system grew exponentially, the old physical substrates became prisons. The volume of modern computation has pushed these legacy materials to their breaking point. This is a raw silicon wafer. When subjected to the thermal pressure generated by modern algorithmic logic, it physically fails. Silicon melts under the weight of its own processing demands. And these are the copper arteries of the legacy grid. At hyperscale speeds, physical electron resistance creates severe friction, choking signal velocity and generating massive amounts of heat waste. The direct consequence of these dual material failures is total thermal exhaustion. The legacy computing infrastructure is effectively burning our physical power grids alive. Telemetry boards show the legacy grid reaching a state of total collapse. This is an extinction event, requiring a complete mutation of the physical hardware. To survive the violent extremes of the physical world, from 180-degree industrial forges to the vacuum of aerospace deployment, the hardware requires a hardened substrate. This is the first architectural mutation. We are swapping fragile silicon layers for nodes built on synthetic diamond. Because diamond possesses an impassable quantum bandgap, it sheds thermal vulnerabilities, operating entirely without massive heat sinks or liquid cooling systems. By relying on the brute force strength of a carbon lattice, the outer edge of the intelligence grid is now functionally indestructible. Simultaneously, we look inward, moving from those remote deployment zones into the hyper-dense core of the global nervous system, the centralized hyperscale data centers. To solve thermal friction, the architecture purges the electron. Copper wiring is replaced by co-packaged optics embedded into the hardware. The mechanical shift is absolute. Logic gates no longer push electrical currents. They communicate instantly using pure, synchronized laser light. The result is a steep plunge in power consumption alongside an immediate spike in data velocity. The computational core is now functionally frictionless. These two technological leaps combine into a single cohesive synthesis. We have diamond protecting the physical edge and light powering the computational core. Through this dual mutation, the planetary machine learning loop transforms. It locks into a faster, colder, and hyper-resilient architecture. The fragile electronic overlay of the first machine age has reached the end of its utility. This next-generation matrix is an immutable, indestructible fixture embedded directly into the physical Earth. Global systems are now stepping down their active computational loads. The network returns to a passive, steady-state telemetry monitoring phase. This concludes the tactical brief on the current state of the global infrastructure mutation. Read the manual. Know your hardware. Stay optimal. Daily broadcast complete. Network socket connection closed. Local terminal powering down.